Dobbelt overhaling, går fra en 3'er til en 1'er.
Der er lidt ballade nede bagved.
Og så er der ballade længere tilbage. Nej!
Den var sat af, den der. Der skal være set.
Y mantiene la punta de la carrera en el mano a mano atrás. Ganó Lucas Carrera. ¡Oh! ¡Oh! Y Campillay. El vuelco de Campillay ya se destruyó.
Oh!
What you're about to see doesn't look survivable. Cars flying, bikes tumbling, barriers exploding on impact. But here's the shocking part. Every single driver survived. 2023 gave us some of the most terrifying crashes motorsport has ever seen. And today, we're going through the moments that made fans hold their breath. Let's begin. Crash, Yesser 10, Nyck de Vries. Azerbaijan GP street circuits are beautiful. They're also deadly. Baku, April 2023. This isn't a purpose-built racetrack. These are public roads. Concrete walls line every corner. There's no runoff area, no gravel trap, just barriers waiting to destroy anything that touches them. And Nyck de Vries is about to meet one. During practice, de Vries loses it at high speed. The AlphaTauri smashes into the wall with brutal force. The front of the car, completely annihilated. Here's what makes street circuits so dangerous. On a normal track, you slide off into gravel. You slow down gradually. Maybe you hit a barrier at 50 mph. Not here. Here, one small mistake sends you into concrete at 200 mph. No second chances, no forgiveness. But de Vries climbs out, uninjured, shaken, but alive. The survival cell absorbed the impact. The halo protected his head. But not every crash is this straightforward. Crash number 9, Marc Márquez, Sachsenring GP Germany. June 2023, Marc Márquez, 8-time world champion, one of the greatest riders ever, about to be thrown into the sky like a rag doll. A violent high side launches him airborne. For a split second, he's weightless, suspended in midair. Then gravity remembers he exists. He slams back onto the asphalt at full force. No metal cage, no halo, no windshield, just a leather suit and an airbag system that has milliseconds to work. MotoGP bikes are unstable under extreme lean angles. The tire is holding on by pure friction. Push just a little too far. The bike says no more and launches you. Márquez's airbag leathers inflate instantly. They cushion the impact just enough. He walks away, bruised but unbroken. This is the reality of motorcycle racing. You're exposed in ways car drivers will never understand. And we're just getting started. Crash number 8, NASCAR Big One or Talladega Spring Race. But what happens when a dozen cars crash at unimaginable Talladega, April 2023? This track is legendary for one reason: chaos, pack racing, bump drafting, 40 cars inches apart at nearly 200 mph. It's not a question of if someone crashes, it's when. And when it happens, it's catastrophic. Over a dozen cars get collected, metal twisting, cars spinning like tops, walls getting absolutely destroyed. This is called the Big One, and it happens every year at Talladega. One tiny bump at superspeedway speeds, that's all it takes. One car gets loose, then another. Then another. Modern roll cages and safer barriers prevent deaths here. The technology is incredible, but there's one thing safety engineers fear more than anything: the catch fence. And that's exactly where we're going next. Crash number 7, Kyle Larson, Talladega catch fence crash. Same track, same month, different crash, and this time, the fans are in danger. Larson gets turned sideways at full speed. His car goes airborne, and it's heading straight for the stands. He slams into the catch fence. The fence does its job, barely, but debris explodes everywhere. Metal fragments, tire rubber, car parts raining down on the grandstands. The fans were feet away from disaster. Some of them felt the debris hit near them. Larson walks away unharmed, the catch fence held, this time. But here's something you need to remember: Kyle Larson's name, because he's going to show up again later in this list. And when he does, you won't believe he survived. We're only at number 7, and things are about to get much worse. Crash number 6, Lando Norris, Las Vegas GP, Las Vegas, November 2023. The strip circuit, brand new, never raced before, bright lights, casinos, glamour, and underneath all that, a dangerous, unproven racetrack. Lando Norris loses it early in the race. Cold tires, low grip, zero forgiveness. He hits the wall hard. The car erupts in sparks. Race over. Here's the problem with new circuits. Drivers don't know where the grip is yet. They don't know which corners are safe to push. Add cold tires and an aggressive layout, you're gambling with your life. The halo and carbon survival cell save Norris. He's fine. Frustrated, but fine. But that eerie silence after the crash, that moment where everyone holds their breath, that's the sound of everyone realizing how fast things can go wrong. And speaking of things going wrong, what happens when your brakes just stop working? Crash. 5. Simon Pagenaud, mid-Ohio practice, crash mid-Ohio, July 2023. Simon Pagenaud is approaching a corner during practice. Everything seems normal, then he presses the brake pedal. Nothing happens. No brakes, no way to slow down, no control whatsoever. He's a passenger in his own car now. Physics is in charge. The car shoots off the track into the gravel, and then it barrel rolls. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, the car is tumbling through the air like a toy. Complete brake failure at racing speed. This is every driver's nightmare. You can't steer out of it. You can't slow down. You just hold on and hope. The IndyCar aero screen holds together. The reinforced cockpit stays intact somehow. Pagenaud climbs out, shaken but uninjured. This is where crashes stop being accidents. This is where they become nightmares. Mechanical failures don't care about skill. They don't care about experience. They just happen. But we've still got 4 more to go. And trust me, it gets worse. Crash number 4, NASCAR Daytona multi-car wreck. Coke 0400 Daytona, August 2023. It's late in the race. The sun's gone down, the track lights are blazing. Pack racing under the lights is beautiful. It's also incredibly dangerous. Everyone's desperate. Points are on the line, wins are on the line, and desperation makes people take risks. Boom. Contact. A massive wreck collects the leaders. Cars spinning, metal crumpling, smoke pouring from engines. This isn't just one crash, it's 5 crashes happening simultaneously. Fire crews scramble, safety workers rush in. The track is covered in debris. Modern safety technology prevents fatalities. The safer barriers absorb impact. The roll cages hold. But the scale of this carnage? It's absolutely terrifying. And here's the thing. We're about to enter the top 3. The next 3 crashes will redefine what you think is survivable. Starting with a flying wheel at the greatest spectacle in racing. Crash number 3, Rosenqvist and Kirkwood, Indianapolis, 500 Indianapolis Motor Speedway, May 28, 2023. The greatest spectacle in racing. Over 300,000 fans in attendance. Felix Rosenqvist and Kyle Kirkwood are racing at 230 then everything goes wrong. Rosenqvist crashes hard. His car slides up the track. Then Kyle Kirkwood, with nowhere to go, slams into him. The second impact is even more violent than the first. The force tears suspension components apart. A wheel detaches completely. And then the wheel goes airborne. It flies over the catch fence, over the barrier designed to stop exactly this. It lands outside the track, in an area where people walk, where people stand. The drivers? They're fine. The spectators? Inches from tragedy. Feet from a deadly impact. A flying wheel at the Indy 500. Let that sink in. But you know what's even more terrifying than a flying wheel? A roll cage that collapses. Crash number 2. Kyle Larson, Talladega Geco 500 overtime crash, Talladega, April 2023. Same track where Larson hit the fence. But this is a different race and a different kind of crash. It's overtime. The race should be over, but there's been a caution, a restart. Everyone's desperate for the win. The green flag drops. Chaos erupts immediately. Larson gets turned. He's sideways, vulnerable. Another car T-bones him at extreme speed, direct side impact. And then something happens that should be impossible. The roll cage visibly collapses. Roll cages don't collapse. That's their entire purpose. That's what keeps drivers alive. The force is so extreme that the metal bends inward. The remaining structure barely holds together. Larson is trapped inside a collapsing metal cage at Talladega. Somehow, the rest of the safety cell holds. Somehow, Larson walks away. You're probably thinking, that has to be the most frightening crash of 2023. You'd be wrong, because what comes next isn't just a crash, it's 10 separate impacts happening to one person, in one car, in 15 seconds. Crash number 1, Ryan Preece, Daytona Coke, Zero Sugar 400 Daytona, August 2023. Night racing again. Ryan Preece is battling for position, racing at nearly 190 km/h in a tight pack. Everything seems under control. Then someone makes contact. Preece gets turned, and he's heading for the grass. The car hits the grass at full speed. The infield grass at Daytona is slightly banked. And that banking, it's about to turn Preece's car into an aircraft. Air gets underneath the car, it lifts, completely off the ground, and then the flipping begins. Flip 1, flip 2. The car is rotating end over end. A complete barrel roll. Flip 3, flip 4, flip 5, flip 6. The car is disintegrating, parts flying off. Flip 7, flip 8, flip 9, and then mid-flip. The roof hatch tears completely off. Gone. The cockpit is exposed to the open air. Flip 10. The car finally stops. Upside down. Smoking. Destroyed. 10 complete barrel rolls. At 190 mph, with the roof hatch gone. This should not be survivable. Every instinct says no one walks away from this. The safety cell is barely recognizable. The roof is gone. The car is in pieces. And then, Ryan Preece moves. He's conscious. He's responding. He climbs out of the wreckage. On his own. Walking. 10 flips. Roof gone. 190 mph. 15 seconds of pure violence. And he walks away. This is the most frightening, non-fatal crash of 2023. Not because of what happened, but because of what didn't happen. Ryan Preece should not be alive. But he is. Modern motorsport safety isn't just good, it's miraculous. 10 crashes, 10 survivors. From Baku's concrete walls to Daytona's grass, from brake failures to collapsed roll cages, these drivers shouldn't have walked away. But they did. Every single one of them. Modern motorsport safety isn't perfect. Engineers are still learning, still improving. But 2023 proved something incredible. We can race at 200 miraculously. We can push the limits of speed and physics. And when it all goes wrong, we can survive.